and welcome to the premiere edition of the Penn Street Market videocast Experience the Difference. And in order to experience the difference, you must meet the director of the Penn Street Market, Lucine Sihelnik. Hi, Lucine.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I am wonderful, and I'm really excited to be part of this premiere show.
Yes.
Because there's going to be a series.
There's going to be a series, and every month we're going to be bringing on the individuals, our community members, who are part of this experience, who are part of this journey in creating the Penn Street Market for 2015.
So that brings me to the journey.
Yes.
And the experience. And you, Lucine.
Yes.
Lucine is the founder of Gayatri Wellness.
Mm-hmm.
You bought a farm.
I did. About 5 years ago,
What's that all about?
I purchased a farm in northern Burnville, and it's 3.5 acres, so considered a micro farm. And originally, I was in West Reading, and I loved being there. But I felt this calling through Gayatri Wellness and what I really wanted to be doing in establishing this community organization of sustainability, and sustainable agriculture was a big part of that. So I thought, let me see if I can bring myself to the point where I can start to cultivate myself and I can learn how to grow and then bring others and teach them how to grow.
I love that. Cultivate myself in order to farm. So first of all, Gayatri Wellness, what is that?
So Gayatri Wellness, the name, what came from the inspiration while I was receiving my yoga certification as an instructor.
Okay.
So in the midst of my early midlife crisis, I would say, I decided that instead of finishing my master's degree, I would actually go and do my 200-hour certification
Smart
to
decision.
teach yoga. Yeah, and actually it was. You know, all joking aside, it was crucial for me in that self-discovery and development and enhancement. So I went through that process, and you know, through that experience, I had some education and training in Sanskrit and the mantras that are used, you know, through the philosophical text. And the one that really spoke to me was the Gayatri mantra. And when you summarize that, it's all about well-being, you know, all-encompassing of body, mind, spirit, wellness. So it made sense. And that's how I started Gayatri Wellness.
So all-encompassing well-being. What does that include for you?
For me personally, you know, this is interesting. It's different for every single person. Because I say this sometimes in class, we're all like snowflakes. We're all unique. And so our journey towards wellness is going to be different for each of us. For me, it's vast and varied. You know, I may find wellness and peace of mind and significance in my spirit if I can be in the kitchen and I can be creating something delicious to eat with our local foods and preparing them and then, you know, sharing them with friends and guests or during our cooking classes at the Goggle Works. It may be meditating, it may be running, it may be being outside and doing nothing at all. So all of these different things, you know, in addition to a physical yoga practice, reading books, just taking care of myself. That's what, you know, wellness is for me. You know,
you made the connection. I was looking for that because I'm thinking, okay, yoga, mind, body, spirit. Where's food coming in
Oh,
here?
food is so important.
Well, food is welcoming. That is part of your wholeness. And it sounds like it's something that is with the cooking demonstrations at the Goggle Works, it's something you want to share.
It is. I want to share. And I started sharing food by, you know, farming. And then I started sharing food to our community members through farm stands and a CSA program, which we still have going. And then I started making food and creating food, a little bit of catering.
From what you grew?
From what I was growing. So it was local, it was seasonal, it was sustainable. And when we talk about food and wellness, it's a big part of our wellness because we're consuming it. So this is what's good. We're taking care of our bodies. You know, and people don't often, you know, think about it that way. So from there, it turned into, you know, the cooking classes, you know, and from there, the market involvement and the cooking classes. This is what we're talking about when it's a journey. Every single day you wake up and you say, what am I going to do today? You know, well, it's part of that journey that's ahead of us, that's out there. And that's why I'm involved with Penn Street Market as the director.
I'm hearing as I'm listening to you, it's silly. You are what you eat.
Yeah.
It sounds trite.
Yes.
But when you connect it through yoga and wellness, food is really what sustains our body.
It does sustain it. It's one of our basic needs of humankind. You know, we all need it. If you can be part of it from the very beginning, either visiting a farm or maybe just planting some herbs and, you know, herb boxes in your environment. When I started, you know, I have more of an urban city environment in growing up. And so it was, you know, growing on fire escapes and, you know, rooftop gardening before it was popular. It was 5-gallon buckets because I could get out to the roof.
You wanted to plant things?
Absolutely. I helped my grandmother, you know, she grew roses and made jam out of roses. She had grapes, and we would take not only the grapes, but also the grape leaves and then put them in brine and roll them up to make stuffed grape leaves, you know, and always had tomatoes and your mint, you know, parsley, all of these staples. And it was part of everyday living. And so we're starting as a community to come back to that theory of, you know, sustaining ourselves, growing these things for ourselves to enhance our lives, our bodies, our minds, our well-being.
I'll let you know a little secret.
Yes.
I'm not a cook.
Okay.
And not a big fan in the kitchen, but I have to tell you, as I'm listening to this story, and our offices are right next to each other, I'm coming.
Do you want me to bring lunch every day?
Well, no, this is the crazy part. I want you to show me, how do I plant something out on the stoop that I can cut and bring in and cook for myself?
I would love to do that.
That's intriguing to me.
Yes, and at the Penn Street Market, we will have individuals who are dedicated to educating the community exactly in doing those types of tasks and, you know, living that lifestyle. They will be there presenting free to the community on stage workshops, how to grow your own herbs, container gardening, recycling, even making dish soap out of natural products, you know, using that old baking powder and vinegar trick.
Is this a full circle with you?
It is a full circle, and that's why it feels so good. That's why, you know, this is an experience. And I'm honored to be part of this experience because not only is it mine, I'm cultivating it for the community so that everybody in our community can experience it. It's for everyone, and everyone will be involved and be a part of it.
So it's the Penn Street Market. Experience it. Lucine is the director, and it is making sense. So you grew up in an urban environment.
I did.
Then you got a 3.5-acre farm in Burnville, so very suburban. You talked about mints and herbs and roses and making jam from roses. I love that. I got to learn more about that.
It's amazing, yeah.
What's the first thing you planted?
Ever?
No.
Or
on your
when?
Yes.
I planted a lot of things over my
What's
lifetime.
the first thing you planted ever?
No. Very basic. I started with herbs because mint is like, it's almost like a weed. It's like grass.
It can be invasive.
It's totally invasive, but it's wonderful because you can put fresh mint in water. You can put it in tabbouleh salads. You can use it as a garnish. It's great for digestion. You can dry it and you make tea out of it.
You are so good. I have mint growing right outside my side porch, and every time, if you disturb the dirt, you smell wonderful. And then the first thing I think is not those wonderful things you said. I'm like, mojito.
Mojitos are great. I'm a culprit of just always pinching a leaf off of my mint plant and just placing it on my tongue.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now the first thing you planted on your farm.
On my farm, I started with lettuce.
What kind?
My favorite kind is Black Simpson.
I never had that.
Yeah, and it's a variety. I was talking about this with somebody recently, and they said, well, I'm growing lettuce, but it doesn't look like the lettuce that I get in Giant. And I said, that's okay. That's all right. You know.
How many kids do you know, Lucine, that if you ask them, you know, where does lettuce come from or where did the apples come from? And they'll say the grocery store.
I know.
So what does it mean to you to be the director of the Penn Street Farmers Market, or the Penn Street Market, I should say?
It's the Penn Street Market, and being the director, educational outreach is a primary component of what we're doing. As we speak, we have Amanda Kopetsky from the Food Trust, based out of Philadelphia, in our school system, in Reading school systems here downtown. She's in the classrooms and she's working with the children, educating them. She's a nutritionist. She's showing them pictures of food, telling them about how they taste and how they grow. Real food.
So bring the kids and bring the family to the Penn Street Market so they can experience where these delicious foods they enjoy really come from.
Really come from, yeah.
You mentioned a workshop. So first of all, when does this start?
So the market opening day is June 4th. It's a Thursday, the first Thursday in June. It will be open from 11:30 to 5:30 consecutively on Thursdays from June 4th all the way to September 24th. So that's 17 weeks.
And during those 17 weeks, each week features an education component.
Each week features an education component. Each week we have a live cooking demonstration from the food trust that I just spoke of. Each week we have live entertainment for the community. Remember, this is all free.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Demonstrations, the food trust,
yes,
music,
yes,
and it's all free.
Right.
And
it's to enhance the experience of downtown, to revitalize our beautiful downtown area and our community.
And it starts in just a few weeks. There's a lot more to learn about this with Lucine Sihelnik. She is the director, also the founder of Gayatri Wellness. And I know I have more questions. So will you come back for part 2 and more answers?
I will come back. I look forward to doing this videocast series, inviting all of our community members who are a vital part of the farmers market, I should say Penn Street Market, because we're going to have the stories of the individuals who are involved, who are part of this experience.
But there's more to the founding story and the reason for the Penn Street Market. And we'll be back with that on episode number 2 of the Penn Street Market Experience It videocast series here on the People Chronicles.